What's good, everyone, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we're reacting to Food Theory. Is expensive water actually worth it? Now, I don't really know what to say about that. Because some water is expensive, some aren't. It's a confusing thing. Like, one water bottle I got from one place would be $1.50, and another place it's nearly double to quadruple the amount. I'm not even sure how that's possible, in all honesty. The amount of... It just sounds outrageous, to be honest. Plus, it kind of depends which water you get, because some taste alright, some taste a bit bitter, some taste weird, and so on and so forth. Like, sparkling water, I tried that once by complete accident on a trip. Well, not even a trip. I think it was a baseball game. Anyway, it was freaking disgusting. So sparkling water is a definite no for me, because it sucks. It honestly sucks in my opinion. It tastes awful. But that's my personal opinion. But anyway, if you enjoyed this reaction video, hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided, and so on and so forth. Hit the notification button to be notified immediately when the video comes out. And if you have any videos you would like to recommend, leave it down in the... Wait, I think I already said that. Anyway, yeah. Did all that, and... yeah. The link to this video will be down in the description below, so with all this said, let's start this video, shall we?
The water in this bottle is 14 times more expensive than the water in this bottle. 14 times. And yet, it's supposedly selling the exact same thing, water. At 14 times more expensive, you'd be hoping for like gold leaf to be floating around inside of here or something, but nope, nothing, just plain old water. Clearly, this has got to be some sort of a gimmick, right? Well, that's what I plan to test today. Is the clear, flavorless, and odorless liquid we call water the same no matter whether it's coming from a square bottle or a cylindrical one? And when you spend more on a bottle of water, does that rich water actually taste expensive? Drink it all in, theorists. By the end of today's episode.
I'm sorry to pause, but it's a maybe. Some taste the same, some
Your
don't.
thirst for answers shall be quenched.
Honestly, I'm curious to know which water bottle is the best to get.
That's always sparkling and never still.
And easy
on this
to pay for.
Beverages, sodas, tea, coffee. Heck, we even tried olive oil mixed in coffee. Still hate you, Starbucks, for forcing us to do that one. But there's one drink that we've critically ignored over the years of food theory, and that is water. Outside of the one episode where we tested whether you could predict the temperature of water just from listening to it pour, spoiler alert, you can. Water's been a pretty frequent subject on the channel.
I have to look into that.
Why, right? It's water. There's nothing much to say about it. Clear, odorless, making up 70% of the surface of planet Earth. H2O is kind of the GOAT of planet Earth beverages, but it's not particularly flashy. And yet, over the last 2 decades, bottled water has really exploded onto the scene to capitalize off of our collective thirst. In 2020 alone, the US bottled water industry generated approximately $22 billion in revenue. Billion with a B just for water. When I was a kid, you drank from the tap and you liked it. If you were lucky, you got to drink from the garden hose. But now, water's become so ubiquitous, it's starting to feel like a fashion accessory. It is a matter of taste and
don't
class.
think the garden hose is better.
Out there.
You want a nice, crisp, balanced flavor, so no Dasani.
I mean, just wrap your head around that. Trendy water. And of course, that also is going to come with a huge range of prices. A typical bottle of water today can cost anywhere between 50 cents and $5. So
True.
you just gotta know, is it worth it? If you
Some are
accidentally
even
get all
worse
different
than that,
brands of
so.
bottled water blind, could you legitimately tell which one came from a natural spring out in the French Alps and which was bottled by the spigot out back of Coke HQ? Can your palate actually distinguish between different brands of water? And if so, does the more expensive water actually taste any better? Today we're making Stay Hydrated Bot proud by tasting 6 of the major mainstream water options out there back to back to back to back to determine once and for all who is the Baron of the bottle, the Sultan of the still, the leader of the liquid. TLDW, we did
Dang.
a scientific experiment to determine what the best bottled waters are, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the differences were moist and critical. So to do this, we obviously had to put together a taste test for Steph and I to do, a taste test of water.
Okay, Ahmed, that
which
was
in
kinda
concept
clever.
is just really stupid. This is pretty insane. Now that we're sitting here on the couch doing it, it's pretty stupid. That's what we aim
Was
to
it
do.
really
So
that
today, folks, we're gonna
weird?
take 6 of the most common brands of bottled water, ranging from expensive, top-of-the-line artisanal brands to your cheap, everyday options that you'd find in most vending machines. And then Steph and I are gonna conduct a blind taste test to see if these fancy brands, pardon the pun, hold any water. It's also worth noting that we did this
Meh.
experiment using room temperature water. Not because we forgot to make room in our fridge, but because that'll help make sure that we're truly able to taste all the subtle differences in the water. Believe it or not, but temperature actually matters a lot when you're talking about the flavor of stuff like water. Cold water actually suppresses your taste buds. And for this experiment, we didn't want to hinder our ability to taste the minerals and slight differences of flavor. With that said, do Steph and I have the most refined
Really?
aquatic palates, or are taste buds all washed up? Let's dive in. All right.
That's Matthew picking his teeth.
That is me picking my teeth. So I'll swish it around later when I'm enveloping myself in the bouquet of these various waters. So Santi, take us through the experiment.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Well, really wish I hadn't heard that, first of all. Second of all, in this first round, you have 6 different brands of water in the cups in front of you.
Yes.
You don't know the brand. What you'll be doing is drinking from each cup, figuring out if you can taste any differences and if you even have a favorite out of these, and then you'll be ordering them from right to left, from cheapest to most expensivest. Then at the end of the round, we'll tell you how close you got, and there will be another round after this, which we'll explain when we get there.
So we're tasting the richness of the water.
Sure.
The thing is, there are no wrong answers here, Stephanie. This is a water taste test. You are responding to what your palate is telling you.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna put them in any old order because I don't think I'll be able to know.
There's no competition here. This is a welcoming space.
All right, let's do it.
Santi, how are you going to respond to everyone's comments on this experimental design when everyone's like, they're in different colors, and so the colors are going to affect the way you perceive the flavor?
So, they are wrong.
I'll drink to that. Down the hatch, everyone.
Oh, cheers. I don't know. It tastes like water.
Smell the bouquet.
Smelling water.
I don't know if this is true or not. This is the flavor that I don't like about Aquafina, or like this is the sort of thing that I don't like about Aquafina. It's been a long
Slightly
time.
cucumbery on the front. Don't think I care for that one as much, but like I still don't care strongly. I don't know.
Blue, the color of water.
Still no smell, but I'm going to continue to do this the whole time.
It's mellow all throughout,
It's mellow, right? No. Somehow that's a descriptor.
right?
It's smooth.
Purple.
This one has a pretty like sharp, bitter flavor up front, actually.
Yeah,
Plastic
For water.
I can't disagree.
Imagine that I'm going to make myself sick by drinking.
I
all
think
this
I
water. My
had
stomach is
a
like,
bitter
why are you so hydrated
tasting
today?"
water.
That's not normal.
Okay, orange. Oh, yeah. No, actually, this is really bad. It's very metallic.
I don't like it.
Yeah, this is really bad. Okay, here we go. I feel like I need to clean my palate every time, but it's all
Oh
water.
no, this will clean your palate.
Ooh, that is nice.
Yeah,
This
there's
is,
nothing
this is
in
nice.
this.
This is
I
nice
think
water.
there's nothing in this.
I taste wet. I remember when Fiji water at least first hit the market, or I first became aware of it in high school. There was a kid in my choir who would only drink Fiji water because it was the purest of the waters, and he insisted on it. He insisted on it so completely that it was this pure, unadulterated water that he would open the bottle and then pour it into his. He would not let his lips touch the bottle. He would pour it into his mouth so that way he would not taint the purity of this water.
On the left, the cheapest water, you both got correct with Aquafina. The next one you both also got
So regular,
correct,
okay.
and that is Dasani in the orange.
Huh.
You started off strong, but the third one is actually the red with the star,
Wait.
and the brand is Evian.
Evian.
Really?
Oh
Yep.
no, we have bougie taste.
The next one is
Wait.
purple,
What?
And Smart
Bougie
Water is the
taste?
brand in there.
We did.
So Stephanie, you actually got that correct.
Oh yeah. Wait, no, I thought blue was smart water. I wanna take this victory, but
You were half right because you did put it fourth in your lineup.
okay.
And then the final two, we have Fiji in the blue and Boss in the green.
Good
I
job
believe
with
that's-
Fiji. You
I
called that
the Fiji.
one.
I biffed it on Aquafina hard.
So Voss on average comes in at about $16.99 for a 6-pack.
Oh,
Wow.
Wait,
for
what?
water?
Fiji actually comes in at $15.99. Smart Water at $12.99. Evian at about $12 flat, $11.99. And Dasani at $3.79 for a 6-pack, and Aquafina for $3.29. So both of the bottom range are in the $3.
Wow. Huh. This is making me rethink a lot of stuff. I'm also mending my relationship with Aquafina.
It
No.
seems like it. You
There's-
guys have come to terms with each other.
There's healing that's happening here in this moment. Three things quickly became clear from that first round of tasting. One, that different bottled waters clearly have different flavors that you can taste. Two, that you can taste a bit of the price difference between those waters. That's how Steph and I were able to roughly predict the prices that were on the higher range of things versus the lower range. And finally, three, Steph and I clearly had some favorites that immediately stood out from the pack.
Ooh, that is nice.
On the other side of the spectrum, Dasani.
I don't know if this is the least expensive, but it is by far the worst tasting.
But why did we have such a polarizing take across these two specifically? Well, Evian's water is what's known as natural spring water, which, well, it certainly sounds
Okay.
like some corporate gobbledygook, it actually has itself an official definition. The makers, or should I say bottlers, of Evian are in the business of keeping the water in as natural a state as possible. So, when it snows on the mountaintops above the French town of Evian-les-Bains, it starts to melt and seep down into the ground, flowing downwards towards the base of the slopes. As it flows, it picks up all sorts of natural minerals and electrolytes, like calcium, magnesium, and bicarbonates. These mineralized waters eventually flow into a stream outside the town where they're more or less bottled at the source, and then shipped to hotel refrigerators the world over. So really, there is some substance for why this water is so much better than some of the other contenders.
I'm sorry, I'm taking a note right here.
Because it was naive spelled backwards.
I actually wrote down
Actually blames the movie
to try
Reality
Evian
for
water.
popularizing that theory. That food theory.
Evian is naive spelled backwards.
In reality, Evian is just named after the town where the water comes from. Dasani, meanwhile, is a little bit less elegant, shall we say. Dasani, which is owned by Coca-Cola, buys up any sort of lake or stream out there and is like, yeah, it's mostly clean. Of course, those waters are not mostly clean, especially when compared to the pure spring water of Evian. If they tried to just bottle that water, it would end up tasting worse than Coke Starlight.
Tastes like dirt.
So instead, they need to go in
Dang
with
it.
several rounds of filtering. This isn't the natural sort of filtering that's happening in the French Alps, though. They use their industrial might to filter everything out of the water. And I do mean everything. What they're left with is basically pure water. Now, that sounds like it should make it even more of a pure flavor than Evian, but that's not actually a good thing. It turns out the purer the water, the more bland the flavor. Might be good enough for Aquafina, but not for the likes of Daddy Coke. Coke is in the business of making things taste good, so they add a bunch of minerals in artificially so it tastes like what people expect water to taste like. But to Steph and I, in this blind comparison, all the extra effort they put in to make the water taste better just made it taste more like backwash. Turns out the process of removing all the sweet minerals and then artificially trying to ram them back in just doesn't sit well with the two of us. But at this point, Steph and I were feeling pretty darn confident we could sniff out, or rather taste out, the best from the rest, which led us into round two, and our team's not so fun prank.
All right, Santi, hit us up. What do you got in store for us for round two?
You already know the brands, you know the general price range. What you're going to do now, you're going to go through, taste every single cup again, and see if you can guess the order of a price.
So basically redo what we just did, but having the knowledge of what everything is. So I think my strategy here is knock out the ones that I feel like I should be able to identify,
Exactly.
right? It's making me second guess everything.
I'm doing eyes closed. I have to go slower.
I
Hold
know,
on.
right? We're rushing
Hold
through
on,
it
yeah,
now.
okay.
All of a sudden, we're like,
Okay.
we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go.
We're like, I'm gonna get it right now. Let's be methodical. Start here.
Yes. I don't really taste anything with this one. So it's either Fiji or Evian.
All right, what's next? Green?
Green.
What's wrong with so much air?
I know how to consume beverages. I'm the sewer, Stephanie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live within me.
That's
I don't
I don't
taste
taste
anything.
anything here either.
Santi's pulling a mind game on us.
oh.
These are not different waters.
They have to be. The previous experiment, there was distinctive differences. This one does not have that. And also different textures.
So, this is where I'm going to cut in and say This was, in fact, a placebo round. These are all the same water.
I like that I'm still drinking them just to prove the point. I didn't say final answer.
For the reveal, every single one of these was...
Deer Park!
Deer Park.
A new contender enters the field.
He was in the last round? It
No,
was
he was
not.
not.
That's why I couldn't place any of them.
Right.
You
Deer Park.
Santi thought he was gonna be slick. He was gonna play some mind
Wow.
games, trick us into drinking the same water 6 times. But it's gonna take a lot more than party tricks to pull a prank on the Patricks. But what that showed us was that the flavor differences weren't just happening in our mind. We were actively tasting them on our tongue. So with that little control test out of the way, it was time to move on to our final round.
Round number 3, I'm assuming based on
Dang.
the fact that you have exposed the brands to us and that we're presented with another round of 6 cups, we're gonna match. Are we playing a game of matchy match here?
So what
That's really interesting. Honestly, I'm kind of curious what this third round's going to be about. Is this going to be another prank or some kind of other thing
we're
altogether?
going to do is, now knowing how each brand kind of tastes, see if that factors into your decision making here. So you'll be tasting every one and try to order them in the correct order.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is still Aquafina.
You think so? I know you're going off of the bubbles. which
No,
is-
I'm going off of the aftertaste too. Like,
Are you?
Feel it in your mouth. Metallic-y, minerally.
I'm not 100% sold on, but we'll say yes.
I won't lock you in at the
No,
moment.
you're
It's
fine.
okay. You don't have to commit.
Star. Fiji.
Oh, yeah.
It's so smooth.
It's sweet too.
It's like thick water.
Yeah.
Thick water, like double C thick.
Yep.
So smooth, so buttery. It's really good.
It's really nice.
It's really nice. Purple?
Boss.
It's not. Really? I'm not getting a whole lot of flavor in it.
I'm getting a lot of flavor on my tongue.
Man, should I have not taken a bite of that sandwich in between takes?
I'm gonna tentatively assign this to Smart Water, but I'm not sure yet.
Shoot, and meanwhile, I think it's Evian, but also I need to get rid of the
Okay.
flavor on my tongue apparently now. Oh, sorry. Oh, great.
Here, drink some water. Oh, but there's a flavor on the front. I think that might have been the Dasani with the like front end, but it's clean on the back end.
Sorry, I'm desperately trying to clean my tongue
Do you
off.
know what I mean? Or is that the one I hated? Which I think. Are we experiencing some taste bud fatigue here?
I do wonder that. Is there a world where we are experiencing taste bud fatigue? Because there is a world where you just
Oh.
have like so much.
No,
Oh, I felt this one.
there's a taste on this one. On the orange one.
Yes. And it's a front taste, not a back taste.
Right, exactly.
Which means-
the back finish is smooth. I'm pretty locked on these 3, right? So Aquafina, the bubbly one with the back end flavor with like the aftertaste, done. Evian, I think is clearly here in the middle. I think it's the blue one. We're very clear on Fiji. I can do this. I can do this. I'm so confused now. And we
I would
have
agree.
very similar opinions
Yeah.
about all these waters. So it makes sense that I think our opinions would line up here as well. This feels like a lot of pressure for something that is so inconsequential.
Aquafina, you're both correct.
Yes.
Following with Dasani, which was in the green cup.
Yeah!
Okay, that's cool.
Evian up next, the blue cup.
Ooh, come on!
Now the last 3.
Water, orange cup.
Yes! Yes!
Fiji, it was in the purple cup.
Are you kidding me?
No.
No, wait, are you kidding me?
Yep, Fiji was in the purple and Boss was in the red star.
Left
We were
it
talking,
there.
and we didn't bother to double check it. Oh, and we even said it too. We said it was sweet, and Fiji has no flavor. We had I need to think back to Steve. Steve from high school.
Oh,
who
God.
could taint the non-flavor with his lips. Oh, what fools we've been. Hubris. Oh, we were Icarus and we flew too close to the sun.
What was Santi saying about
Dang.
Washington?
That you'll probably be fine. Don't quote me, I'm not a doctor.
Not medical, hashtag not medical advice. I'm proud of you for opening your mind and your palate to the wide, diverse flavors of water.
Thanks.
Dang.
It's been a journey for me. I feel like I've come a long way. I developed an opinion in an area where I was very happy to not have one before, unfortunately. But I am much better educated to pick between water when I need to buy bottled water. I'm very excited about it.
Right? This is great. Yeah, so next time anyone says to you, like, oh, bottled water will taste the same, certainly not.
No, not even close.
Not even close. Not even for a second. What's your favorite across the board now?
The Fiji water and I guess the Voss are also favorite.
Yeah? I think for me, Evian and Fiji down.
If you're going for like whatever a mid-tier,
Okay.
which is still pretty expensive water, but mid-tier in this test,
Also
Evian,
gotta
I think,
remember
would be the most
that one
economical
Fiji.
but still really good flavor solution.
Right.
Oh, Steve! Why didn't I listen to you? And why do I suddenly care so much about water? Anyway, from our experiments, we definitively concluded that yes, you can in fact taste the designer waters from the duds, which honestly came as a pretty huge surprise to both of us. I was getting my, oh, it's all just water takes locked and loaded, but I guess the joke's on me. Why though? If the difference in flavor doesn't just come down to marketing hype, then what's going on here? Well, after I came back from the experiment, I started digging deep underground. I wanted to see what makes expensive water taste so special, and then I realized it's actually the ground. As I mentioned earlier, more
What?
expensive brands like Evian take supposedly pure sources of water, like those on freshly fallen snowcaps, and then lets them flow along and through the ground until they're packaged up for people like us to buy. The other luxury brands, yeah, they pretty much do the exact same thing. While Evian comes from the French Alps, Voss comes from an isolated stream in the south of Norway, and Fiji, well, it comes from Fiji. Pretty self-explanatory. And actually, it's probably the coolest water that we
Really?
have to. Fiji water, instead of flowing through a silly little mountain, actually is naturally filtered through a frickin' volcano. Yeah, they should just
What?
put a giant volcano on the bottle and embrace how awesome that is. Jokes aside though, it's the volcanic rock that actually
Huh?
makes the water have, quote, twice the amount of electrolytes as other waters, and it also gives it that smooth flavor. But then, how do rocks add flavor and smoothness? Well, imagine the volcanic rock is kind of like a sponge. A very hard sponge that was once liquid hot magma.
Liquid hot magma.
And has since cooled down
Did-
into porous rock. The pores in the
What?
stone increase the surface area where a biofilm can develop. Essentially, a biofilm is an accumulation of microbes or microorganisms that act as a bouncer for the water flowing through, keeping all the gross sediment and bacteria out while letting the good minerals right into the VIP section. Then the water just sits there in an untouched chamber of volcanic rock, a chamber that limits any other contaminants and retains the important stuff for that pure mouthfeel. Honestly, when you think about it and hear it put this way, it kind of makes sense why it's so expensive, which is a thing I thought I would never say about bottled water, but here kind of makes sense. As for all the cheaper brands, since they don't have access to, you know, a volcano or a mountain, these pure unadulterated sources of water, they just grab fresh water from wherever they're located. They then have to filter out all the nasty bits, and if they're like Smart Water and Dasani, both Coke brands, incidentally, they re-add some of those tasty minerals back into the water to give it a consistent flavor. Consistent, yes. Tasty, not 100% sure about that anymore. All in all, the cheaper brands are so affordable because they're not just water
Probably
from a
average.
super rare,
Not the
important, pure
best, but not
source
the
and shipping
worst.
it around the world for us to enjoy. Since they filter the water to oblivion, doesn't really matter where they get the water from. So anywhere you can get access to a stream can be new ground zero for a water brand. Which is why I tend to think that we see so many water bottle brands that are region specific, like our Deer Park here in the southeast, or the Northeast's Poland Spring. All you need is a source of water, a way to filter it, and a dream. So what does this all mean for you and me? If expensive water is really better tasting, does that mean that I'm gonna suddenly smash my piggy bank to get the best culinary experience for my water? Either way, the answer is no, probably not. These premier waters do taste better, but that comes with such a hefty price tag. I am
True.
perfectly fine with fresh water out of the tap, or, you know, mildly filtered chilled water out of the refrigerator. Would I recommend that you go out and buy a supermarket-sized package of Fiji water for your fridge, or start putting Voss in water coolers for your Little League games? No, of course not. Remember, chilled water actually covers up a lot of sins across the board. But, you know, if you're at the airport and you're gonna need to buy a bottle of water for your long-haul flight across the pond anyway, and be massively overcharged in the process, it might make sense to splurge for that buttery mouthfeel of Fiji's volcano water. Your taste buds will thank you.
Yeah, that makes
Hey,
sense.
that's just
Going on a trip
theory.
somewhere,
Smooth
that's
theory.
fine.
Bottoms up.
Or, you know, you could avoid all of the
Or-
plastic waste that came out of this episode with one simple solution, and that is Air Up, a reusable plastic bottle that can flavor your water basically any way that you want to. Simple as this. Boom. Pop off the top, fill it with normal tap water, refrigerator water, what have you. There, fill it up, plain water. Secret ingredient, the flavor pods, right? Just a scent. Right there. You are delicious, Flavor Pod. I know. I'm about to change your world. I know you are, Flavor Pod. I know.
The
Get ready.
frick?
So watch this. If I want that just normal water flavor, boom, I push it down. Smooth, simple, it just tastes like water. Wow, filtered water. Tastes like nothing. Filtered. Amazing. But you pop it up, suddenly it activates. The scent is permeating. And so as you drink, you get this little bubbling solution as you drink it in. You have some air getting mixed in. It creates this little bubbling solution as it goes through the straw and into your mouth. In those bubbles, You get that scent mixed in there, which is tricking your mind into thinking that this is flavored without any artificial flavors, nothing. It is
So
all
it's meant
pure
as
natural
a
chemistry. Some might call it magic, but you know
as a
what?
thing to
I don't.
trick our
I
minds
call it
into
science.
thinking something
Delicious. So
different's
in this
happening
case,
there.
I've gone with a raspberry lemon, which is delicious. It reminds me of summer. It's like a delightful spa water. I imagine myself lounging on the beaches of Mexico with a little lemon on my water glass, sweltering in the sun. And I'm like, oh, I'm sunning. When I want to be done with my beach vacation in Mexico, I simply toss it to the person off screen, who catches it and then tosses me a new flavor. And misses my hand entirely. Oh, you gave me the wild bit. You gave me the good stuff. Oh, that's the business. Save the environment, help save your taste buds, and stay hydrated along the way with Air Up. Thanks for sponsoring this episode, Air Up, and our year's worth of content. You've been a great partner to us.
So if you want to join me in pretending you're on the beach or in the clubhouse, then click the link down in the description below and use the
Okay,
code
that's really clever.
PAT to receive 15% off site-wide. That way you can purchase your own bottle and flavor packets. Thank you, Air Up, again for being such an awesome sponsor for us throughout the entirety of this year. And as always, my friends, I'll see you next week.
Okay, so some might be thinking, why this? Well, I've been experiencing heat waves. Some other people might be experiencing a heat wave around this time, maybe not. Who knows? But hydration was the one thing. Don't know where that came from. I don't know. Anyway, hydration is the one thing everyone needs to be concerned, worried about, and so on and so forth. And here we are talking about this. Water. Something we need around this time period because hydration is the one thing to keep us going during the heat wave. Make sure we don't have any bad reactions to it. Headaches and stuff, you know. I ruined that cough bit. I'm so sorry I did. But anyway, yeah, the reason why some of this expensive water is tasty, delicious, and whatever makes sense. It kind of makes sense. Especially the Fuji water. Now that I learned that apparently volcanic rock can actually get rid of the um, bad stuff within the water itself. And that some places get their water from mountains that like have ice, snow, and all that melt down from the mountain, making pure, clean water. As for those that try to get rid of all the minerals in water and then add the good ones, it's a 50-50 thing about good, healthy water right there. Is it healthy? I have no idea. I'm not a scientist. So, can't really claim anything right there. But if you know, then tell me down in the comments below. I would really like to know if that type of water that Coca-Cola owns is actually healthy or not. Because I am really curious about that. But yeah. With this said, I don't know what else to say here. everything's pretty explanational. Sometimes they ruin things by adding too much but metallic feeling and such, but yeah. It's a thing. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button, support the channel, support the content provided, and so on and so forth. Hit the notification button, be notified immediately when the video comes out. Other than that, I hope you all enjoy. I'll see you all next time. Bye!